Did you know YNW Melly's release date is now set by the judge? It reads, a second bond hearing for YNW Melly has been set for Tuesday, May 6, 2025, according to the Broward County Clerk. Melly's attorney, Raven Liberty, will be presenting the argument for the rap star's bond. However, a lawyer inside of the courtroom wrote, Judge Fein in the Melly case looks to be seriously contemplating a dismissal. He's pissed, and the state continues to act like a penalty case is a petty annoyance, not observing orders and not preparing for hearings. This was until the prosecutor stood up and delivered something shocking, giving the judge new evidence on Melly's motive, as a rogue O-Block member snitched on YNW Melly during an interview, revealing what his motive was to commit the crime, as Melly didn't want to share finances with the other YNW members.
Did Vaughn really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vaughn was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? What the bam? I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
This was supposed to be a secret that YNW Melly told King Vaughn. Sadly, Vaughn shared it with O-Block members before passing away, as YNW is a registered business, where Melly and Bortlen performed concerts, sold merch, and did promotions for companies in exchange for money. However, Sackchaser and Juvie wanted a cut of the money without doing any work. This sparked a debate, as Melly's lawyers would say why he should be released. Comment if you believe, as they would keep it very simple, telling the judge in the original trial there was never a firearm even found.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what firearm was used.
Okay.
While also sharing GPS evidence from when the crime was going down. He was seen running away down the street on GPS evidence from his cell phone provider.
That would be the part where he's saying that someone just shut the car up and was trying to shoot him. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, yeah. He's like, yeah, there's some. I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sack and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
While the judge reads the release evidence over, he would allow Melly's ex-girlfriend to be free from jail. Melly's ex-girlfriend Mariah would acknowledge her friends and family who supported her while being detained on Facebook. The post reads, "And to my village, thank you to my village. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." But she allegedly didn't like how it was all broadcasted on the local news.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
But the fact that the judge is allowing people to be released until trial begins is a positive sign for Melly. As did you know, it was also shared, Melly has to make an informed decision about who he wants his lawyers to be. He's been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days, leaving the judge very surprised on the stand.
No, but let me repeat myself. Mr. Demons has to make an informed decision about who he wants his lawyers to be. He's now been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days. So, how long would you like to be able to make that decision?
I can't determine when the investigation will be over. That's up to the Broward Sheriff's Office, but I can, as I said, I'm just asking for, and then I'm asking for at least a day or two.
You can decide by tomorrow. I've also reserved all of tomorrow.
As the judge couldn't believe that Melly's been sitting in jail this long, he straight up told the prosecutors, give us a reason why he shouldn't be free by tomorrow or I'm releasing him on a bond. This then resulted in the prosecutors doing the worst thing imaginable, which is forcing Bortlen to snitch against YNW Melly. The prosecutors are sending in paperwork to have Bortlen and Melly tried together for one specific reason.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again, do it all at once. And also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase, it's the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
As it's common sense, if YNW Bortlen knows he didn't commit this crime, he won't physically be able to sit there and take life in prison to the chin, making it very likely he'll begin to point the finger against Melly. But what you didn't know is that Melly's lawyer already tried pinning this against Bortlen in the first trial.
Those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he has discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
Melly's own lawyer revealed that it was YNW Bortlen that has been lying to the feds, and that he was the one with powder residue on his hands, even bringing a forensic scientist to the stand to cover the passings in further detail of YNW Bortlen having the powder residue.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of powder residue and two component particles. And the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of powder residue and 1 2-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was powder residue present on the hands.
It would be that moment where YNW Bortlen's lawyers would tell him to not say anything on social media, as Bortlen didn't like this at all, which is why when Melly's mistrial was granted, a report shared, YNW Bortlen tweets a mysterious message on the same day Melly's mistrial was declared. The tweet reads, "Mind games don't work on people like me," alongside a handshake emoji, as if he's accepting some sort of deal. When you pair this with the evidence found on Melly's phone, this is where it gets very bad, as Melly sent a text message hours after the crime, literally admitting to it.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
Also found on Melly's phone was a saved video from somebody's Facebook Live, where it shows Melly and Bortlen's reaction to the crime only 6 hours after it was committed.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turn, regardless of what happened. You already know.
Not even showing an ounce of sadness for the passing of their 2 best friends, this is what led into the prosecutors diving deep into the physical evidence of the crime, such as the Jeep that they were driving in, as during the original trial, Sergeant Williams revealed there is no way this could have been a drive-by, and whoever committed the crime had to have been sitting where Melly was.
How many rounds were inside of the car?
3. From the driver's side back seat.
As to the shot that Christopher Thomas, where did that come from?
Driver's side back seat.
Oh.
My determination was that this is not a drive-by. and it's based upon this picture here. At a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here, the actually moving in that.
As with Williams revealing the crime must have occurred inside of the vehicle where Melly was sitting, YNW Juvie's mother went to the stand sharing who was sitting there.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
I'm Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the victims in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
However, it would be this moment where the prosecutors would tell the judge it gets even worse from here. Did you know that YNW Melly tried hiding this crime? They found disturbing evidence in Mariah's iCloud account relating to Melly forcing her to not testify in the original trial. This is known as witness tampering. This carries a life sentence in prison, regardless if Melly actually took out sack chaser and juvie.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demmons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
The witness tampering case would be separate from his existing case as sack chaser and juvie. This means if Melly's lawyers somehow beat the case of sack chaser and juvie passing away, but are found guilty of Melly trying to hide the crime, he will still go to prison for life. The feds began their investigation on Mariah after people in Melly's hometown began speaking about her involvement in the crime. This even resulted in Juvie's father doing his own, asking around town, speaking with people of all areas, as he's known in many hoods. As he learned the code words that Melly used against Mariah to make her not testify, and then told the feds.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, try to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
due to the witness tampering charges, the jail phones for YNW Melly have now been disabled. He hasn't been able to use them for several months. It even got so bad where his own mother exposed the county jail for not allowing Melly to use a phone or even look at his own mail.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
But if the evidence is true that Melly was using jail phones to commit witness tampering, that's why they haven't allowed him to use them. As the scariest part is, they definitely have the evidence. They would be sharing it when the trial begins. They wouldn't just keep him off of the phones and get sued if it was just a hunch. Due to this, Jamie King revealed she's absolutely heartbroken for her son. She feels helpless as he's not even being treated like a human inside a jail.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
But do you know how Melly's mother has been helping him pay for his lawyers? It would be shared. Melly's mom trends after announcing that she started a fans account while he stands trial, being featured on an interview speaking on why she did it and how much she made.
Why did you decide to break the internet the other day? You're saying that you're YNW Melly's mom and you're about to hit fans.
Why not? You make money while you sleep, and I turned 40 this year. Why not do something crazy?
Did you start it yet though?
What? My only? Yeah.
How much you made the first day? I just need to know the first day.
The first day was pretty epic. It was pretty epic.
Give me a ballpark figure.
Like 40-ish, 50.
One day?
Day one.
This took the internet by storm. Even academics said,
So YNW Melly's mom has announced that she's going to be starting her own. And I got to be honest with y'all, man. Like, this is perplexing. The reason why it's perplexing is because I can't understand why she's doing this. Your son is fighting for his life. How much, there's certain mothers in hip hop, and you probably could name a few. I won't name all of them. That I feel like their son became stars, but they also wanted to be stars as well. Blueface's mom is one of them. The situation between Melly's mom and Melly, I always thought was interesting, but I never thought she'd be doing this. If you're wondering if she's doing this for money, this can't be a money play. Like, no way, no how.
As while academics claims it's not about the money, social media would disagree. No Jumper did an interview 2 years ago with B Slime and Jamie King, as Adam would tell Melly's mother that he imagines Melly has spent a lot of money on lawyers, with her sitting back and laughing while B Slime called out his own brother for having dumb purchases.
I would assume
but still,
that he spent a lot of money on lawyers. Like an amount that would probably...
That kid spent a lot of money on a lot of things that shouldn't have been spent on.
Really? Like what else?
And cars, jewelry. And he's not even out to wear the jewelry. I'm like, why are you buying jewelry and you're not here to wear the jewelry?
No, definitely lawyers are probably the best thing you can spend
That's
money
what
on.
bro. But he's good with lawyers, bro. Like, money ain't an issue for lawyers. Like, he's fine, but it's just like, there was a lot of stuff that should have went to lawyers that he didn't spend on lawyers. And I'm like, bro. And now it's like he don't even want the chain no more.